morning everybody. This is Bernie from Stampin, and I was going to do a live. I was going to attempt to do a live on Facebook, but my camera and Facebook tell me they're incompatible. So I will do a video instead. So I thought instead of doing a card this morning, as it's the week before Christmas, and to be honest, I am exhausted. It's been a very hard year for everyone for that matter, but I'm going to give you a quick tour of my craft room. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love being inspired by other crafters and seeing how they arrange things, and I've taken a lot of ideas from different crafters throughout the world. So I did a huge overhaul of my craft room on the weekend, and I just want to show you what I've done. So let me pan in. So first of all, I decided that I'm going to pan out a bit. I decided after 14 years of having my Stampin' Up papers in their family categories, because if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up, they've got 4 different families: neutrals, regals, brights and subtles, actually 5, and then in colors. And I always stuck to it. I always had all my in colors together, my regals together, my subtles together. But over the last few months, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I became a demonstrator in the beginning of the year, and I had to just rethink how I do a lot of things. I finally decided last Saturday to organize it according to colors. So I rearranged my papers. So I've got all my whites and my vellum, and then it went into grays and browns and yellows and oranges and blues. And I did the same with my stamping pads, and I'll just zoom in there. And so if you're wondering, I'll put all the links below. If you're in New Zealand, I got these storage units from Extreme Laser, and they're in Wakatani, and they do online purchases. So I've got all my stamps, my alcohol blending pens, I've got my blending brushes, I've got some more over there that I was working on a project. I've got my punches. My husband put an extra shelf over here for me to put my punches. I keep my all my adhesives in a little caddy, which is really useful. But let me quickly show you my paper first, and we'll just zoom there that I don't make you. So I've got them all in this cupboard to protect them from the sun, because the sun in New Zealand is incredibly harsh. Sorry, just blank wall. So there we go. I've got all my papers now in the hues. I also have my current stamp sets, my retired ones at the bottom, and right at the bottom I've got some baskets with old dies that I still use for my own personal projects. Up at the top I've got all my 12 by 12 papers, and again you can see all my storages from Extreme Laser Graphics. I've got all my cards that I actually made little dividers for my cards. Let me just put this down so that I don't make you drunk. So they're all in different categories, and I just went cheapskate and just got some cardboard and just put some just made some labels on it, cut it to size. You don't always have to spend a lot of money to make things, but of course I'm a label freak, so that's got cards. That's the business side of my things, where I've got catalogs. So let me go back to my desk. So got my cardstock here in colors. Over here I rearranged my ribbons. Now a lot of my clients have asked me about this when they've come into my craft room. That is just an offcut from our local roofing company, and it's a gutter, and yeah, they for free and gratis. So do make sure that you think outside the box a little bit for your ribbons. So I've got mine there because I'm very visual. I like to see how much I've got very quickly and what colors. I've also got projects. I've got dividers. These used to be old. If you've been if you've used Stampin' Up for a long time, you'll recognize these. These used to be our A4 paper storage and our 12 by 12 paper storage that I've just repurposed, and I've divided the big ones into projects that I'm working on, old catalogs, current catalogs. A ribbon basket that's non-Stampin' Up ribbon. I like to use that to just close gift bags and things like that I don't want to use my expensive ribbon. I'm mad about boxes, so I've got this little display that I got on Trade Me many years ago that I just don't want to do anything with it. So I've got all my little boxes, paintbrushes because I can, and also that was given to me by a dear friend of mine that's passed away a few years ago, so it's just a reminder of her. I keep my current catalogs on display. As you can see, my current one is well worn. I also put cards on display that are dear to me, and as well, this one's special. That was from my first retreat that I ran in September. Now my DSPs are all, or designer series papers, are all kept in these drawers in families, current, so these are all current, and below it are retired, and then I've got a whole lot of odds. I also keep my embossing powders in different containers and labeled, of course, with that label maker. Oops, sorry, my camera pod just went funny on me. It's a lot easier to use them in plastic containers because then you can just spoon them, and it also keeps them sealed. What else can I show you? I do want to show you, so in my little basket, a dear friend of mine made this gorgeous envelope holder or card holder for me, and I've used it like this. So I've got my envelopes, I've got my clear things that cellophane bags that I put my cards into, my 3x3s, and my very vanillas. So it's perfect. And I've got my business cards, baby wipes, my labels for when I send out my cards, when I mail them out. I also mail them out for my clients that are in my clinic. In this drawer I've got all my adhesives, so this is my adhesive drawer. Everything that's adhesive is in this drawer, very easily accessible. And in my bottom drawer are all my packaging things, so clear, cellophane bags, boxes that I want to assemble, boxes that I saved. These had globes in them that I purchased yesterday from our local Mitre 10, and I thought, oh, I'll keep that, thank you. That will look gorgeous with some ribbon or DSP. Oops, closing that with my feet. Then opposite my desk I've got my working desk, so I've got my cut and emboss machine, the standard, the mini, my scoring tool, my stamparatus, my paper trimmer, a rubbish bin over there, just a bit of sewing stuff, and then in here I've got all my offcuts. So I've got these bags that I've labeled with the different cardstock colors, and then in each one, I'll just see if there's one here, I've actually got, let's try to do that again, I've got offcuts in there, and so I always I go in there and check if I've got offcuts. This one is full of basic white and shimmer paper. It's always handy to keep offcuts so that you don't waste paper. What else? Spare old emboss big shots. So yeah, this is my craft room. Oh, and I do want to have a special shout out. I've got the most beautiful hand-drawn Kiwiana pictures here that are by a special friend of mine, Debbie Nesbitt, who with her family have recently left for the States. So I framed, they were note cards, and I framed those and have put those on my wall as a reminder. Not forgetting, talking about reminders, my gorgeous little Mr. Fishy salmon who passed away at the beginning of the year. He sits on my desk, and I also have my embellishments there, my sponges for doing the edges, my washi tape, all my threads, trims, my water painters and paint brushes if I need to brush off embossing powder, just ordinary stationery in there, and then I've got my notebooks there that I keep ideas and recipes for. And yeah, so I hope that inspires you and makes you perhaps want to think about doing a tidy up of your craft room if you got one, or craft space, because I think it's really helpful to have a space where your brain can just be free to think and to do its thing. And so yeah, hope that inspires you, and I will be gone until January. I'm going to take a break. I'm away for 2 weeks on holiday, so have a wonderful Christmas, everybody. Until I see you again on camera, remember, stamp, eat, sleep, repeat. Bye.